matter, in the way only Harold Brady can say those words, dripping with all kinds of things. The local hot matter. Among the local hot matters, that incident, Cooper Spin, Trelawny. I know Cooper Spin rather well. My cousin Steve and his family are from there. My uncle George spent some time there as well. And Lady Dell, who used to work at the then Trelawny Beach Hotel. You see how long that? Yeah. So all those people, Dice and all of those boys from Cooper Spin. Or as the people don't say, Cooper Spin. Yeah? Cooper Spin. Yeah? Good morning to you all. The way to look at the matter of squatting, first of all, I'd commend to people who want to sharpen their understanding of matters concerning squatting and that thing called adverse possession. There's a brief prepared and posted online by one of the attorneys at Myers Fletcher Gordon. They have been known, they have a reputation, Myers Fletcher Gordon, that law firm, of producing some brilliant briefs on very important issues, very important aspects of law. And they publish it for public consumption. For journalists like myself, you read that and you get an understanding, a deeper understanding of the issue. So I'm not going to keep the information to myself. I'm commending that to you. You Google Myers Fletcher Gordon. I think that particular entry is titled Diddly Squat, Squatting in Jamaica. And it's not long for those who don't like to read lengthy pieces, but it gives a very good, very, very good overview of the law as it relates to adverse possession, giving tips and advice to people who own land and how they navigate the issue of adverse possession. But in this country, you'd be correct to say that if you think of that proverbial dividing political line, there are some who favor one side, who believe that all squatting should be encouraged. Let me say at the outset, I am not one of those people who believe that all squatting should be encouraged. What is true is that I can feel that way and still be empathetic about the people in Orange Grove, Cooper Spin, who woke up to the sound of bulldozers knocking over their dwellings, destroying homes and destroying appliances, destroying furniture, and causing a severe setback for their lives. It is possible to have all of those things existing in one brain, in one body. I don't believe in squatting. But you can't ask me to not feel and feel deeply for people who have lost their property, hard earned, because they are squatting and the owner for the land come. Now those are the headlines. The details matter, because here's this now. If you look at squatting only from the perspective of the squatter, you ignore the right of a person who owns land to enjoy that land and to use that land when and how they see fit. And one of the consequences of always sticking up for the squatter is that unwittingly, people encourage an acceptance and an expectation among some people that life is about freeness. So the same way we encourage and embrace squatters and we excuse squatting, because guess what? Everybody born come on earth comes to land. Nobody never come to earth with any land. Nobody owns any land. The land is there. God made the land. And so everybody is free to claim any piece of land that they choose. You have some people who believe that. To say that that is nonsense is a waste of time. And I have just wasted time by saying that is nonsense. But a lot of people believe that. The encouragement of squatting gives confidence to those others who, for instance, say, well, guess what? I'm going to go through a process to apply for and be approved for a student's loan. And when I'm done with my course of study, I'm not paying it back. Government is supposed to take care of my education. I may work on time hard and I'm struggling. Notwithstanding that tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people have been struggling like me and took student loans like me and sacrificed and paid it off. I'm not going to do that because guess what? Government money are free money and I'm not paying it back. And as night follows day, there are political opportunists who will be very sympathetic to that view in the same way those political opportunists are sympathetic to a person who occupies somebody's land and deprives them of the use of that land. People say, look, oh, if you have the land for how much years and you don't put anything on it, and I see the land there idle, and I put that structure on it, and I build up the structure, and I have children on it, I know you want to come and tell me that you own the land and I must remove what I built. Where am I going to go with my children? What am I going to do with the structure? And those sympathetic to the squatter will say, you know what? You who own the land and who have been accumulating resources to do what you want with the land, hug it up. Go and buy something somewhere else. Call this a loss. And don't even think of getting the agents of the state responsible for assisting you to claim possession of your land. Don't even think of that, because to do that would be inhumane, it would be wicked. You are just one individual who owns a piece of land. That's a family there that built a house on the land, has children on the land. Who are you to now come and tell them to get off the land? Because you suddenly want land that you own to use. Go away. That is how we treat many Jamaicans who own land for whatever reason, and the reason is not important to anybody. They've taken time to decide what to do with their land, to marshal the resources, to be able to do with their land what they want to do with their land. And they come and squatters are there. And only because of politics, it's not humanitarian, from a humanitarian perspective, that people stick up for squatters, you know. It's for votes. It's curry favoring for support in elections to come. So all of us and these advocates, these social justice warriors, these humanitarian czars, paragons of virtue, with humanity at the heart of what they do, come and say no. So it's unfair to the person who squats to be removed forcibly from land that they've squatted on. But they will have us believe it's not unfair to the person who bought land to be thus deprived of what they bought by virtue of the actions of squatters. Break time. Back with more after this. Do you notice that those who advocate for heaven and earth to be moved so squatters can remain where they are, and who at the same time decry whichever government is in power for not doing enough or not intervening and letting people down, do you notice that the advocacy for the squatters is always after a major event? I've seen a statement from the MP for East Portland from the PNP making some suggestions as well as to how the situation can be ameliorated. And I've seen one for the PNP's man in North Trelawny, Dennis Meadows as well. And I ask myself, well, where was the advocacy before the squatters were removed? If this thing is as close to both of you as you claim, and since you are highlighting where the current member of parliament has fallen short in being a champion for the people and not preventing the demolition of their houses, and that positioning yourself as a superior champion, well, where was your letter to the property owner to say, hold your hand, stay your hand, don't demolish? Where's your record of a community meeting saying, people, this is going to happen, this has been a long-running saga, well, this has been a saga, organize yourself this way, so forth, so forth. Where is evidence of your action before the demolition? So if you did nothing before the demolition and you're only now responding after the demolition, how are you a better champion than the people you're accusing of doing nothing before the demolition? Tell me that. And positioning yourself as a superior champion or as a champion while the incumbent, the person who's the office holder, is not by itself injurious, but it takes away from the sense that is being communicated in the statements that you've made, suggesting how to ameliorate the situation. So it gets over that part about, how representation has not been done properly or not done at all, and the people have been let down. That would have been a strong point if you could have shown that in the days leading up, the weeks leading up, the months leading up, you were championing this, standing with the people. But it's rather convenient after people have had their houses demolished to now run out and say a bag of things when there's no evidence of nothing you saw or anything you said before the act. And I can understand why somebody says mute. Don't want to hear that at this time. Successive administrations, both PNP and JLP administrations, have taken steps to deal with the issue of squatting. But it's one of those things that is hugely controversial, and it never gets real attention from those who are our collective leaders because of political expediency. Sounds like I pronounced that incorrectly. Expediency, yes. Not expediency. Yeah, there you go. So, those in opposition will always tell you that, you know what should happen? Even though the private people have gone to court to get the people off the land, and have said to them repeatedly over many years that they're going to take their land forcibly if they do not leave willingly. Notwithstanding that, and notwithstanding people, there being a record of those communications being made, the fact that people have gone ahead and built their lives on this land means that the government should now come and buy the land. Buy the land and then sell it back to the people who are squatting. Now you tell me, how can we move forward as a country if that's what we do? Where will it end? Where will squatting end? And when you speak the way I'm speaking, people say you're speaking from a position of privilege. And it's because you have property. And because you are not in the shoes of the squatters who are all poor people. What if all poor people in Jamaica were to squat? What if all poor people in Jamaica were to respect no rules and to expect handout, as my granny would say, ready done? What if all of us who are poor, who were poor, behaved the same way? What kind of country would we have? I can tell you personally, and this is the opinion part, well, it's a talk show, so it's largely opinion driven. I can tell you, I am unsympathetic to a person who says, listen to me now, because you're going to take away and say I'm unsympathetic to poor people. I can't be unsympathetic to poor people. I am unsympathetic to those who use poverty as the excuse for them breaking the law, who use poverty as the excuse for them being lazy, who use poverty as the excuse for them expecting that the government must live their lives for them and make for them a cushy existence. I am unsympathetic to those categories of persons. You know why? Because I can show each individual who uses those excuses many other people who were poorer than them who made it. Many people poorer than them who escaped the same fate that the complainers say have trapped them in penury. I can point them to many people. So you would come from the ghetto and say, boy, you come from the garrison and boy, my mother never have it and my father never have it and I never gone to school and me drop out and me turn this and me, boy, things don't work out and now me there me have 4 baby mother and me can't feed them father what give me a thing not me can't say, but Dan, how much of your friend them from similar circumstances made it out? Why did you not? So I can say hand over heart, I am one of those unsympathetic, not to poor people. And some of you say, boy, George loves stress certain things. Yes, I'm stressing this because you know that's what the evildoers will leave this conversation with. But I am all for someone who's poor and trying and who gets a leg up on the ladder, who gets their hand held through the crowd. I am unsympathetic to those who sit and say, government mind me. Government take care of me. Government ignore my law breaking. Government ignore my lack of ambition. Government feed me fat with the taxpayers' money. Use taxpayers' money. Use other people's resources. Give me milk, give me cheese, give me chicken, give me rice. Pay for me to go to school if I want to. Pay for my health care. Give me free house. If I build house on somebody's land, tell the person who owns the land to go buy more land. Leave me on that land, government, because I am poor. And politicians don't have these honest conversations with people, and that's why we are where we are. You know, I've said before, that I believe in a quotation from one of music's finest exponents, hip-hop, christened at birth as Sean Corey Carter, Jay-Z. He said, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. I firmly believe in that. But the way politics is, the nature of politics, especially in Jamaica, is this. Politicians will know something is wrong, but because of votes. So here is a matzi thought now. So hold on. The private company that owns the land, them people have money already, and them people are not idiots. So I can't promise them no foolishness and then believe me and vote for me. They are highly unlikely to vote for me because they are in a position, based on how they have done for what they've done for themselves, to earn their own keep. So they don't need me. So I can't say anything to them to cause them to think that they need me. Therefore, because they need me, they must vote for me to ensure that I'm in a position to help them. I can't tell those people that. And in an event, a little bit of them. The squatters are enough of them. No, big yard. The big yard have 13 different houses in there. Each house have 6, 7 people. What people vote that? So the plenty vote from the squatters, the precious few potential votes from the property owner, I'm siding with the squatters because more vote there. So that's all it comes down to, you know. Is that a love for people? You can imagine. You have your land. You are now ready. Nobody knows what you've done behind the scenes to put yourself in a position to marshal the finances, to proceed with whatever project you're doing. And people who've lived there and have been told that, listen, you need to, you know, move. You need to move because I'm going to need the property. I'm going to need the property. And you and them go court and, you know, you say, listen, there come a time when I just go and turn up and I just going to have to remove you forcibly because I need my property. But because those squatting knows that they can call loudmouth politician X and laba politician Y to send press release and to post on social media, they say, you can't stand there. You're going to need a welding plant to get rid of me. My plant, yes, so. Who will tell our people the truth? Who will encourage people to work? Who will say, listen, if you work, I will assist you. If you're indigent, I will assist you. You are my responsibility. You are a responsibility of the state. If you're a child, you are a responsibility of the state. If you're able-bodied and trying, I will help you. If you're disabled and can't try, I will help you. But if you're able-bodied and thief, no support from me. If you're able-bodied and lazy, I can't help you. Who will tell our people that? Break time. Back with more after this.